Welcome to another episode of Sailing Indiana. As you can see, our solar panels have arrived. Big thanks to Pro Marine Stores for sorting out the order and getting them to us at very short notice. And here's a sneak preview of our solar arch. If you're in the Brighton area, Bob at Forrest & Stevens is who you need to speak to. Links in the description. Okay, so we are about to cast off and head over to the fuel pontoon. We're getting a first fit of the solar arch that's being built by Bob in the in his work shed up the top of the marina. So yeah, we're just going to go around. It's a little bit quicker or closer to walk the arch down from where the fuel pontoon is. So we're just going to go around there, and yeah, it's quite exciting. First fix, see if we're in the ballpark, see what it looks like, and hopefully then by the end of this week we'll have the finished product and it'll be getting installed. So watch this space.
I'm just filming. That looks cool.
Look at this.
The jungle gym.
It's big enough, isn't it?
No?
Lovely.
Awesome. Like pivot? Hey.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So it's 8:30 in the morning and we're up and out. So we are going to the fuel berth and we're going to go and collect our completed solar arch and then get the panels fitted, and then at the weekend we're going to connect it all up and hopefully have some solar panels and some solar power. So yeah, beautiful morning for it. We made it. Now it's time for working, no time for filming. Last time that we're going to see Indiana without the arch. Alright, we made it to the fuel berth, and now I'm going to go and find Bob while Lauren readies the boat. We've got to lose our teacups holders. Cup holders. So that's no good, is it? Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, bye.
Here it comes.
Lauren's got to do some work. Here's the arch just about to get nailed down effectively, and yeah, we're just clearing out cockpit lockers and things just to make some room. Yes, flex on the hose. What do you think, Lauren? Seal of approval?
I think so. Very good job.
Lovely.
Yeah, looks awesome. So shiny. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Jungle gym.
something to play on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty rigid.
Yeah, you hold me.
You reckon? There you go.
No upper arm straight.
Do a couple of chin-ups.
Yeah.
Just now to add the finishing touches.
Yeah.
First time standing in the shade of your own solar panels. They are big. They are some big old boys. But why not? I guess. Got the space for it. Use it. Lauren's got the arts and crafts out.
Yep.
What are we doing, you might ask?
We are cutting up. This shows how many Chinese takeaways we have, isn't it? It's really bad. But yeah, we're cutting up our Chinese takeaway Tupperwares because
the edge of the solar panel is aluminium, and the nuts and the washers and the frame are stainless steel. So the two metals will corrode and react and calcify over time with each other. So simple solution, put a bit of plastic between the two as you put the washer up, problem solved.
But we're recycling plastic.
Yes, we are. All right, boat's back in the home berth. Thought we'd bring it in stand two because we've got Mum and Dad coming for a visit tomorrow, so it's easier and nicer to have the stand this side, and Mum can be in the wheelchair on the pontoon, which is perfect, and we can all be together. All in the day's work. Okay, so now you've seen the solar arch being erected and you've seen the solar panels getting put on top. The next thing is to actually connect the solar panels to something and to the batteries to make them work. So to do that, we are going to be running some conduit through the boat to get back to our charge controllers, and I'll show you the charge controllers in a minute, and then charge controllers obviously then to batteries. To do so, it just means a little bit of boat Jenga and moving things around and finding places for cables that weren't there before, and drilling a few holes in the boat again, as we love to do that recently, it seems. Yeah, so I'm just going to show you the process, and it might give you some hints and tips if you ever need to do the same yourself. So. Right, this is the conduit we're using, and it's 20 mil. The idea of this is that we're going to have maybe 4 cables running down it, and it's going to keep them all out of the way, a double protection as well, and you don't have to clip them as often, I suppose, as if you've got 4 cables running around off on their own. But yeah, so we'll be chasing this through the boat, drilling some holes, finding its way back to the solar arch up there. We've got kind of mousing a bit of conduit down with a bit of cable or a bit of antenna cable through it, just to give it a bit of strength so we could push it through. And we are now in the heads and underneath the sink, and we've decided that this is a little the back of a little USB port that comes out in the aft cabin there. We're just going to drill a hole next to that, and it'll come out in the shelving, and we can follow that through and eventually end up in the cockpit locker. Yeah, this little Bosch drill is pretty handy. Got a little connector on the end that you can do a 90-degree angle. There's another connector you can get that just kind of gives you those angles that you wouldn't potentially otherwise be able to get with a conventional drill like this one. So this is the other side of the, well, where the hole's going to come out really. So yeah, that's my pilot hole. Conduit's going to come up here into this part of the locker, and then we're just going to run it along the back of the locker here. And this is all of that aft cockpit locker. So we're just going to make the hole at the bottom of that, come out, and then that can go to the other side of the locker and up the hole in the leg of the solar arch. Yep. Places on boats aren't always as big as they seem on camera, so to give you a bit of perspective as to the conditions and the cramped conditions we're working in, if we move the camera back, then you might get an idea of when we say boats are cramped, what we actually mean. But that's why these sort of drills with the different things on them come in handy, because we're bent up in top of random places or crouched under things, and yeah, it's all a bit of fun. Right, these are our charge controllers. They are by IPEVA, and we have got two of the 40 amp versions, and we've got then obviously one for each of the larger panels. They're pretty popular at the moment with domestic use. For some reason not as popular in the marine world, but I think that's probably just because everyone goes for the Victron stuff and like the pretty blue boxes. But for something of similar size for Victron, it would have been £755, whereas I think this, which came, you can buy it as a set or as a kit with also like a Wi-Fi adapter here, was something like £135. Within the kit as well, you've got temperature sensors for the batteries included there as well. So yeah, £135 for each one. Got two of them, but yeah, not a bad little setup. Okay, we found a nice place to put our charge controllers out of the way, but not too far out of the way. Under the chart desk. Why is it that we're putting a breaker in again? You said it was different to what some other people do.
Just a cheap isolator. It's cheaper than using an isolator switch, and these are DC rated breakers, so they're rated up to 400 volts DC, so they work perfectly as isolators, and they also do give you some sort of protection on the cable as well.
Is that option to just shut it off?
Yeah, because you don't want to be able to, if you for any reason need to disconnect the battery from the solar charger, you need to disconnect the solar panel first.
Yeah.
And rather than pulling apart MC4 connectors, it's much easier just to flick a breaker and it'll disconnect the panel in one.
So I'm off the shops now to go and get some provisions for our trip to Cornwall. We've got a long list, so wish me luck, and hopefully they've got everything we need. I'm going to get loads of snacks and quick things for dinner and quick lunches and stuff, so we can kind of eat as we go. We are ready to go.
Crisps, sausage rolls, fizzy drinks.
What more do we need?
What more do you need?
I'm filming.
All right, good.
I've never already stopped.
Right, so two of these charge controllers, IPEVA, 40 amp, and we are halfway through the install. And I'm just putting the temperature sensors in the bottom here, and we have two of these big cables. They are coming from the battery effectively. We've got a Victron 1000 something distributor switch gear, is that what we call it, at the front? The switch like the isolator, is it?
Yeah, you don't need,
So it's from the batteries, those are effectively, yeah. Right, so a couple of cables from the batteries here. What we have around here, which we don't have set up yet, actually, they're not there yet, are the bus bars. up here. So we're putting in buzz bars there, and that's going to have the cables coming from the battery, and then cables going to charge controllers, and then the charge controllers going to the panels, or panels to controllers, controllers to batteries, whichever way you want to look at it. So we're yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We've only got, you know, we've got 26 hours, 27 hours before we need to leave. Plenty of time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so just to show you now, then the bus bar is connected, then positive, well, plus and minus, I suppose, yeah, so red and black, coming into our charge controllers, and we've got yellow and black cable there, yellow being positive because we chose yellow because it's not 12 volt. It will give us the differentiation between what we have got running through as 12 volt, which is the red. So here are a couple of temperature sensors, and we are putting them on the batteries so that they know how hot the batteries are. So the charge controllers need to know at different temperatures of the batteries. It will mean that there's a different voltage needed for charge, effectively. Yeah, you can tell I'm getting a little bit tired. We are up at, oh, it's 9:30, and we're leaving in 24 hours because the weather windows meant that we're bringing the trip forward by 24 hours, and so now we're like, oh, actually we haven't got the solar panels set up, and we're now frantically trying to put everything together in time. So but yeah, nothing like a last minute challenge to really set the pulses racing. Right.
Heavy, you know, for me, like, you know, within reason.
Come on, there's no, you know, you've done it once before now, so 24 hours to go before we set sail, and this needs to be, this is the last job to get done. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. Oh! Oh, now we're in a right pickle.
I'm never
Okay.
gonna hear the end of it. What I'm trying to do is like get myself at the right angle.
Get yourself at the right angle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see the obvious thing that might be
Oh,
wrong?
it's going the other way around. Oh no. Okay.
Oh my
I was really
God.
focusing on like getting myself over rather than looking at like which way round it goes. Okay. It's very heavy.
Come on, you've got it this time. You've done it once before.
I don't think it's gonna work, but we can try. No.
Oh!
Ow, that landed on my toe.
Is that your toe?
Yeah. That really hurt.
Oh my God.
You just left that there to set me up for failure.
Is that in
yeah.
though? It's done.
I think so.
There you go.
It's like
And that's only 2 minutes of footage as well.
that landed like on my toe. Yeah, it's cut.
You cut it.
Yeah. No, don't go onto my toe. Ew.
There's the thumb.
Alright, cut. Okay. Time to switch it on. Ay, ay, ay.
Ta-da!
They're on.
They're on. Ah.
And it didn't go bang.
Ta-da!
It's not charging. No sunlight.
In the dark.
And it's ready to go.
Why aren't they working? Right, I just thought I would cut now to our Savvy Navvy section. We've got a few more of these updates to give you over the next couple of episodes. So we thought we would show you this one this time. So we're literally just about to plug our coordinates into the chart plotter to go from Brighton to Sandown Bay here. And I came across this little tips section, which is kind of just tells you everything about the app in one go, which is really cool. So if you look here, so there's a digital logbook which allows you to record the trips and show obviously your course and everything like that once you've completed it, which is really cool to look back on and keep a track of all of your trips and data in there. And then there's this heading up, so that's just if you're following on the GPS there, you've got an option to toggle north or follow the actual heading of GPS setting. Measure distance, this is actually a really cool one. So you can set the measure between 2 points and sort of see how long the distance is that you'll be traveling, or anything that you might plan to travel, which will give you a bit of an idea then of where you're going and how long it's going to be taking. You can also enter coordinates, so you can just punch in at the top there wherever your waypoint might be, and it will automatically recognize those coordinates for you. There's share route. This is quite a good one, a little safety feature as well, so you can let your friends and loved ones know, as it says there, of anything that you've planned and send them that route directly, so they should be able to keep up to date with where you should be and along your passage. And then finally, tweak your routes. So yeah, if you've got an A to B, you can add a waypoint in the middle, drag it down, and we did exactly this actually that it's showing you there. We dragged it to the outside of the Isle of Wight, just to give us the route option there to go outside rather than inside. So yeah, we find it quite easy, quite user friendly. So yeah, let us know what you think if you've got it, or if you're thinking of getting it, then we can answer some questions that you've got in the comments. But yeah, off we go. Right, fast forward, and we are now an hour away from slipping our lines and getting underway and heading to Falmouth. So yeah, we'll just show you quickly our route, but I think we're going to go to Benbridge or near Benbridge. We're going to have a couple of hours of foul tide here, then we're going to have 6 hours of fair tide, get us to the nice anchorage at Benbridge, and we should get there in the morning about 7 or 8 o'clock, and we'll anchor there, wait out the foul tide, and then about 4 p.m. We'll pick up the fair tide and it will whisk us around St Catherine's, and we'll do the rest of the journey from there, 150 nautical miles. That's the plan, but we've got some contingency built in if we get any, if we need it. Yeah. Right, so with a combination of Savvy Navvy and our chart plotting on the paper charts, we've come up with a bit of a route to take us to a little anchorage in Sandown, just off the Isle of Wight there. So we've put this into our chart plotter, and what we're going to do, we're going to come out, head south, and it'll be dark obviously, so we're going to just hit the first thing we see is this yellow buoy here. Then we're going to turn and do 245 degrees for 20 something miles, 24 miles, until we get to the Hours South Cardinal buoy there, and we're going to then turn and head pretty much due west. We'll pass Espulla and we'll see that quite clearly. Its light will be shining, so it's another little target for us to head to, which is nice. And then we will get to the Nab Channel. Watch out for big boats entering here, and we should see the flashing of the east and west markers there, and it's pretty much a straight shot after that into Sandown, and from there there's a yellow marker somewhere. Here it is. So we'll see that, and then we'll decide whereabouts we want to anchor in terms of what the way of the wind's going. We could nip round here to Culver Cliff to get out of the way of sort of a south or southwest, but otherwise we'll just pop there. Should be there at 7, 8, 9 in the morning, anchor off, wait out the tide, and then we'll plot the next bit to come out and round St Catherine's with a good push of tide through here. I think there's not going to be much wind here, so it's going to be a bit of motoring, and then I think just off of Portland we're going to start potentially getting westerly, which means we'll take a tack out, and it's then going to change around to southerly. That's at least what it's saying at the moment. We'll check it in the morning, and then we can come back up and hit Salcombe there, and then we decide whether we want to pop into Salcombe and anchor off. That'll be the afternoon. because otherwise we will hit Falmouth probably in the dark. So if we don't want to do that, we can just wait out there. But we'll see what the wind says. I think there's a bit of wind kicking up here, and we want to miss a southwesterly that's going to be coming in. So we'll see if we just keep going and just anchor off when we get here somewhere without having to get into this in the dark. Yeah, so T-minus 40 minutes and we'll be slipping lines. So let's get ready.